What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Friday night on Tales from the Flipside YouTube channel. We have got the Comic Book Invest Hot 10 list coming at you. What's going on, everybody?
I wasn't expecting the try panel. I was like, oh, there I am, right in the middle.
Another Friday night, another CBSI Hot 10 list with the one and only Ben Stein, the writer of the list that you can catch every Friday night on comicbookinvest.com. Excuse me, every Friday on comicbookinvest.com. And the one and only Mighty Mel V. Mel, what's coming up tonight on Drunken Chat?
Well, I just finished the first week of my good, bad, and ugly tour. I'm on the bad part right now. The ugly part, we might have a special guest coming on tonight. Comics Maine has set up a very cool guest. Well, I don't know if it's gonna be too late for that cool guest to come through, but we shall see. Other than that, possibly Gary Nuss appearance.
Ooh, comic perspective in the house.
Yes, sir.
All righty, everybody catching us live, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that watch us every Friday night live, hanging out with us while we go over the Hot 10 list. I also want to thank everybody that catches us on the replay. We gave away this wonderful Slam Virgin variant and to a wonderful winner who has been identified. And we are going to get this out to him this next week. So shout out to Jesse James Comics for giving us this Slam variant, and shout out to the winner for joining us. All right, let's do this. Let's get into the list this week with our first honorable mention. And here we go. This one is interesting. Another LB Cole book in the show, Dime Comics #1. Now this one is got the really like racist Japanese
Oh my gosh,
right? Like this was racial Japanese comic books back then. It was really bad. But one defining thing, one of the things I do like about this cover is I absolutely love the eagle.
Yes.
Absolutely love it. That reminds me of like Americana traditional tattoo art.
First of all, you're about to hang this young lady, and you have an axe in your hand. Fam, what are you doing?
I just like how they really like Dime Comics, a dime comic, and then it's 10 cents, and then it's 10 cents. Like they're really pushing this 10-cent thing.
Yeah, well, this book is probably a pretty penny right now. Why is this on the list this week?
So there was multiple sales. There's an eBay sale for a 5.5. It sold for $12.50, which is way more than it ever had. A 7.0 sold for $33.60 on Heritage, and I just saw that on Comic Link there's an 8.0 that will be auctioned off. On their next, I think on their spring focused auction or something like that. Yeah, you're right, Chad. Probably sold it a 5 and dime. Yeah. I mean, it's. Oh my gosh, we're going into dad jokes all night tonight. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Not sure why there was like a mad rush of available copies of this, but. I mean, 2 years ago, an 8.0 sold for $1,500. So, I mean, basically, all the current copies are selling for more than that now. Just crazy. But yeah, it is a really crazy cover. I mean, everything possibly as racist as it could be. But I mean, that was right during World War II. So.
It's a different time period. I get it, but man, it's and this is what people collect.
I mean, you honestly think about it. Think of Rocky IV. I mean, Rocky IV came out, and I mean, friggin' Ivan Drago was. I mean, it was as. I mean, if you're going to go racist, I mean, that was as racist. They're basically just making fun of Russians, right? I mean, that was the time period when it came out. It wouldn't be that way today, but back then in '84, that was right in the middle of the Cold War, and Americans hated Russians, and so that's just kind of where. I mean, I'm sure we hate somebody right now, and
Yep. It's always changing, right? Nothing's black and white. But what is black and white is buy Golden Age if you can afford it, because it's crazy right now what the prices are getting for some of these Golden Age books. This next one is super interesting, and big shout out to Steve Horn and Mercenaut, who have been talking about these Winona Earp books for a minute now, and we are seeing some absolutely crazy prices. Now, this is I feels like this is one of those niche books that, we always, it seems to be a book that you always seem to find, Ben, because they're like those ghosts that people don't really know about that are worth a ton of money. And these Winona Earp photo variants, especially this convention edition ones, are selling for ridiculous amounts of money. And the crazy thing is, for the people that are selling them, they're reporting that most of the buyers are female, which is very interesting. This is a show that must be beloved in the community, and it seems like this is a book that they love getting signed, because if you do a search on this book, you're going to find a lot of signed books in the image, Google Images for this book. But just go take a look at some of the prices for this book.
This is insane.
Yeah.
Hey, that's why I put it on there. I'm like, man, I think it needs to be, in the back of everybody's mind. Honestly, it's not been in mine. I honestly have probably seen these Winona Earp books.
Mm-hmm.
I know that in general we kind of just pass off these photo variants in general, but honestly, I could see some of these other IDW titles. Like, what was it? There was like the Sarah Michelle Gellar ones from what show was she in? I can't even remember what show she was in.
Buffy?
Yeah, she was. But yeah, like there's like those. But yeah, some of these are just crazy. I mean, the amount of money.
$130 for just a regular subcover number 7. Here's $1,075 for this one that we're talking about.
Yeah, that's the one we're talking about.
$500 for this number 8.
Unsigned.
Yeah, unsigned. $400. I mean, like, these, whoever bought this, it looks like there might be a couple photo variants in there, but people are who are in the know are making some decent money. And shout out to Steve Horn and Mercenaut.
Is it because it's Winona Earp?
I don't know.
I didn't even know this was a show. First of all,
I've never seen the show. I don't even know what network it's on.
Yeah, $447. It's just absolutely crazy. So this is proof that you really never know what sells. It can absolutely surprise you every time. So it's nice to take a look and check. $547 for
Winona Earp.
Absolutely crazy.
JJ Maxwell said the Jennifer Love Hewitt Ghost Whisperer variant, or whatever.
Yeah.
What does the Karate Kid go for? I mean, not Karate Kid. It's a fucking stupid show.
There is a Karate Kid. I think there is a one with
Cobra Kai.
There's one. There's a photo variant with
Johnny.
Machio, Johnny or Machio and
Danielson.
Yeah. But I don't think it's that expensive. It's just bizarre. I mean, this is weird to me. But hey, everything else, pretty much every book that I've got in my boxes is weird to me. So I just buy all those things that are weird, and I'm like, so at some point somebody might be weird. I just never thought photo variants would be it.
Well, listen, this is why you watch Tales from the Flipside, everybody, to get information like this. This is the type of stuff that we love reporting on, type of stuff that we love sharing with everybody, that just makes you go like, holy cow, and let me just save that one right up here. So when I'm going through these dollar bins and you come across a photo, Winona Earp cover, to grab one. So not bad for the honorable mention. All right, before we get into the list, I want to remind everybody to make sure you guys go check out comicbarricade.com. Get your regular Comic Barricade for long and short boxes, as well as your Comic Barricade XL for your magazines. Go check out cardstopper.com also for the same thing, but for cards, if you use the code word Flipside, you get 10% off. So make sure you guys check out comicbarricade.com. All right, number 10, you're going to have to help me on some of these ones. You promised me Darkness from Behemoth Comics.
Just spoke about this book.
Yeah, 1 in 5 variant. dope looking cover. I'll give it to it. It's definitely an interesting interesting looking cover. But 30 plus for this one right now.
For 1 in 5.
Yeah, for 1 in 5 that is not even technically out until next week. But somebody made a comment over in the comments on comicbookinvest.com, and because it really helped, and it said people that have You Promised Me Darkness #1, Shadowcat in hand, because A, store exclusives, the stores receive theirs already, and B, direct orders from Behemoth's website, they already shipped them out.
Yeah.
So I guess they basically said that they kind of screwed up. There was a major distribution, and it was confirmed by Behemoth's owner on Facebook.
Well, Behemoth were the same people who put out that girl who walks alone in the dark or whatever the fuck that title was. And
yeah.
I got screwed with that from Diamond. But Lucas took care of it. But we got screwed a lot on our orders with that. And this book was actually supposed to come out Wednesday. I spoke with the guys from Behemoth. So when is this book coming out? Because Midtown has it listed for next week, and you guys have listed for this week. They said, "Oh no, it's supposed to come out on Wednesday." I said, "Well, Midtown didn't have not A1, but Midtown did put it up on their website for sale Wednesday afternoon for release for next week." And I put the link out for the Sharks to eat from their website. So I hope everybody ate.
So strange. I don't even know what the book is about. Do you?
Yeah, we spoke about it on the Nirvania. It's every 73 years Haley's Comic comes, and people when Haley's Comic comes, people are born with a special aura, and there's this guy hunting the people, trying to kill these kids trying to kill anybody with this special aura. It sounds interesting as hell, and I want to get it for the read, not spec. So
what's the deal with the cat?
Oh, I don't know what the cat.
Other than the artist's nickname is Shadow Cat, and then they put a black.
Yeah,
I love the cover. I love the
cover's
eye.
fire.
Yeah, the eye is badass, man. It's super simple, but is a really good cover. I like it. Very good stuff. Well, we'll see what when people talk about it when it comes out. It'll be interesting.
Yeah,
the cat is a character. He talks. There we go.
Oh, so like Saga, Lion Cat.
Yeah, which is another great book to pick up if you guys ever get a chance. All right, on to number 9 this week. And of course, we knew this book was going to heat up. It happens every time. This is all new Wolverine #1, the hip hop variant, which is an homage to DMX's second album. Which is Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. This has X-23 basically, with the blood all over, just like DMX in front of that album. And It's an amazing cover. But we see this every time somebody passes that's has something that they can find in comic books, whether it's Prince covers when Prince passed, DMX covers when DMX passed. We see it a lot. But this one is selling right now. What are we seeing right now in the secondary market for this book?
Yeah, so he passed
last week?
Last Thursday?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Friday or Thursday.
Yeah, so I could have put this book on the list, but I just felt like last week was the wrong time to put it on the list.
Definitely appreciate that.
So I left it off. I don't know. I did the same thing with
Chadwick.
With the Black Panther books when Chadwick died as well. Sometimes you just feel like it just it
doesn't feel right.
Yeah, give it a week.
It just doesn't feel right. So I left it off, but it's still selling really well. It's a $100 book now. I mean, it was always a good seller at $25. But yeah, I mean, that was $100. But yeah, it is a very, it's a
beautiful cover.
It's a gorgeous cover for sure. But
I didn't mention this on any of my social media platforms, but I'm going to mention it here now. That source cover I was talking about on Drunken Chat, which was the first Boondocks. It just so happens it's also DMX's first magazine cover. So
make sure you guys check it out, especially for the Boondocks stuff. That stuff is really cool. But if you're a DMX fan, this is stuff that you might want to take a look at. All right, number 8 this week, more Kanto on the list. And this is a interesting looking cover for Kanto and the City of Giants #1, the Martin Simmons 1 in 25 variant, selling for about 2 times ratio in the $40 to $50 range right now.
Yep. This is the third series for? Is it Kanto or Cantu?
That's a great question. I've always called it Kanto, but we need to talk to you about that as Flying Wood. Maybe he'll let us know one of these nights.
Because I always think like my kids or something. I'm like, you can't do that, and I can too. so that's why I don't know, but I don't honestly know. Flame Brand says Kanto.
Yes, Kanto. All right. This is a newer book, it sounds like. So just recently came out, and Kanto is super hot. So I could see selling.
Yeah.
I mean, I would suspect that the print run is probably higher on this one than the last Kanto. The last Kanto miniseries that they had before. Yeah, what was it, Kanto 2?
Yep.
So
you guys are fools in chat.
I know.
Camel
No.
This is going left field now.
I'm going to stay out of it. We knew that this series was going to get gobbled up by somebody, whether it was animation or some type of CG type stuff. This is just such a good premise and IP that it's going to be on this list many moons from now for a decent time. So, all right. On to number 7. Now, this is an interesting one you're going to have to help me with. I don't get this one. This is Minky Woodcock, Girl Electrified Tesla, #1, the Virgin variant. That was a lot. That doesn't make sense to me. What is up with this?
All right, so there are several little mini series that Hard Crime puts out, and this is just another one. There's another Minky Woodcock series. I think it's Minky Woodcock, and it's set in the 30s, 40s, something like that, usually in Britain. But she did one gosh, what was it? I've got several of them from before. There was one something about Houdini. There was trying to think what the other hard crime books were, but they're actually really good reads. I obviously I haven't got this one. They're Minky Woodcock Handcuffs Houdini. Like I said, they're really good reads, and there are actually some really good covers. I probably should have pulled a few of the good covers that I've seen. There's a oh gosh. Now, see, I totally should have had something ready. I'm drawing a complete blank. There's Elias Chet Zudis? Is that how you say his name? You know what I'm talking about, that artist? He does a lot of the Lady Death and those type of books or whatever. Anyway, he's got a cover on one of them that's really good. There's some Ben Oliver covers on some of these, but there's a whole bunch of different of these hard crime miniseries, and this is just and this one obviously is selling clearly for the cover.
Do you know what the ratio was on this?
It was I don't think it was a ratio. I think it was just a an FO, a final order cutoff or something like that. So
the regular cover is selling for more than.
Yeah, so the A cover is the trade dress of this.
Right. Well, no, it's not selling for more. But yeah, the regular cover is $16, the $15, $16 book.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting. So anyway, that's kind of the thing about it, and like I said, the books are kind of good to read. So I don't know what this one's about, but hopefully that helps.
JJ Maxwell says they're a little disappointed they have not done a Bruce Timm crime cover for the series. Yeah, I agree. I'll take any Bruce Timm crime
Her
covers.
feet are huge.
I keep seeing that her feet really don't, like, when you look at the perspective, because like she almost looks stretched out. Like, I don't necessarily think her feet are as big as you think they are, but
well, it's interesting, and it is selling for 25 to 30. You said raw.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, on to number 6. Now, this is a very interesting one and a very rare book. Spawn number 237, the purple Trade Smart variant, or Trade Smart exclusive, as they call it. Super tough book to find, I guess.
It is. Trade Smart. These came out only in Colorado, I think. Is that what it was? Trade Smart back in the day was that where it was? Like only in Colorado or something like that?
Well, the Trade Smart edition was produced for a Todd McFarlane signing event at Hastings Entertainment Trade Smart in Littleton, Colorado on Saturday, November 16th in 2013. Anecdotally, around 500 copies were available and surplus copies were sold online after the event. Thank you to Recalled Comics, which is probably the spot for super rare books. That is where I got that information, but very rare, very tough book to find.
It is. It's gone. It's definitely had its days where it's, sells well, and then kind of the number of copies for sale kind of goes away, and that kind of just pops up again. But these recent sales, Raw now, it's over a $500 book. A 9.8 sold for $1,800, which you think of Spawn, even rare Spawn books, $1,800 for 9.8 is really high. So that's a lot.
Well,
Spawn just keeps just giving. Like, Spawn just a great, just took on a life of its own.
Well, collectors and these rare giveaway Spawn books have always been tough things, right? I mean, there's some really rare giveaway books in the Spawn run. Make sure you guys go check out Spawn World, an excellent source of information for some of this stuff too.
You think about this whole Spawn run. I mean, it's gone on for forever or whatever, but
over 300 issues. So
yeah, it was the first, all the way back at the beginning of Image. So, but I mean, you think about there's got to be other series out there that people still like or love that could. I'm not saying it would necessarily have the cult following that Spawn does, but I mean, you figure there's got to be some series out there with some that have just keep going on and on and on. That there's got to be some of those books out there that you're like, man, once like one or two of them pop. Because remember, I mean, a lot of these Spawn books, even up until just about 4 or 5 years ago, I mean, you could still find these ones that were really low print run. You could still find them for $5 or $10. Now you can't find them for less than, a lot of these for less than 75 or 100. I'll bet there's some of these other series out there that have books that are even lower printed than Spawn. I mean, I hate Savage Dragon, but I mean, I do, but I mean, think how rare a lot of those books don't even hit the top.
No, that nude cover sells crazy.
But I mean, like, it's like some of those. I mean, like there's like that Osama bin Laden cover, and I mean, there's some of those covers that the print runs on those are just microscopic, and if one of those pops, I mean, if I were finding those, I would be buying those for. There's, like I said, I'm sure there's other ones out there. There's other books, not as popular as Spawn, but it doesn't take much when you have a low print run.
That's it.
It doesn't take much for that thing to explode, and then once one does, everything else seems to follow right behind it.
That's it.
Yep, and Todd Father books a lot of them are going crazy right now. So, Before we move on to number 5, I want to remind everybody to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell. Next week, we are going to be lucky enough to have the one and only Sith Lordly from Spine Ticks joining us on the Hot 10. So really looking forward to Sith being on here. I want to shout out Sith and Azor's Tiger over there at Spine Ticks.
Yes,
really
good people.
Crew, good community over there. And this is what I want to remind everybody you need to do with both Spine Ticks and Tales from the Flipside. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button, make sure it says all. And that way, if you guys do enter in any of our contests here, in order to win, you not only have to be subscribed, but also hit that bell button. So just do like I did, and you have a chance to win away at giveaways here. But again, big shout out to Spine Ticks and the crew. Also, I want to remind everybody that's watching right now, after the show is done, if you guys know anybody in the YouTube comics community that you really enjoy watching, that are just doing good stuff out there, let us know so we can find some more people to have on the Hot 10 and bring them out.
JP,
we will be contacting JP shortly. But again, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell. We appreciate each and every one of you. And let us know some good guests to have on the show each and every week. All right, on to number 5, another oldie but goodie, Amazing Spider-Man 361 First Carnage. We had the second print on not too long ago. Was it last week or the week before?
It was last week.
The first print is back on the list. This book is always just jumping back and forth. It's a minor key, major key, whatever you want to call it. It's a key, and all these keys are selling no matter what right now. What are we seeing right now on this book in the secondary market?
9/8 are now 1,300 plus for this. Yeah, this is. I think I've probably told this story before, but this was my favorite book as a kid, and I mean I loved Carnage more than I liked Carnage way more than Venom, and I probably passed on this book here in the last 5 years probably 20 times to get a 9/8 copy, and I just keep, man, that's all right. It's a stable book. It's never gonna.
Yep.
And it is a $300 book. It's no big deal. There's 25 million of them out there. It's not a big deal. I'll get it. Now I'm just mad. I'm not buying it.
I don't think they're giving out 9/8 anymore at all, because I sent in a pristine copy to CGC and it came back 9/6.
I sent in 2 and it came back 9/6. Listen, for whatever reason, these bronze and modern age, some of the modern age books, especially, but bronze and copper and early modern age are really getting tough on pulling these high grade, grades from these grading companies right now. I mean, I don't know about CBCS, and I know we get a lot of comments. They want us to talk more about CBCS, and right now the market is just CGC heavy. It's very obvious to see the amount of money that you can get selling a CBCS compared to a CGC, but that's not a bad thing, because take a look at those CBCSs and maybe at a nice big chunk of change off that might be worth buying right now, because with all the grading craziness that's going on in the world, whether it's comic books, cards, action figures, there is a long wait. There's a long wait, and a lot of other companies have some chances to show up.
I think Nigo found a glitch in the Matrix, though. I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it.
I know. I know exactly what you're talking about. So. But yeah, it's interesting. I sold 2.
Will this book ever get to $2-3
newsstands?
No, I mean this is priced at 1,300 is not newsstands. This is for direct.
Two is the, I don't want to say ceiling, but it's going to be close to 2 for the ceiling. I personally can't see this reaching $3,000, but if I say that coming out my mouth, it's probably going to reach 4. So take that for what it's worth.
Did you ever think ASM 300 would be a $5,000 book either?
No, I can't. That's another book I kept pushing on. Like, I don't want to pay $700 for a 9/8. Get out of here. There was 1,000. Just gonna stay at 1,000. Now 5. Fuck. I'll never have one. But I got a place arm here, waiting for Carnage.
Soon, my friend. Soon.
Soon,
And maybe you need to go find some of these and flip them.
I got a 9.6 waiting in the dungeon.
All right.
That 9.6 I found, the pristine copy, I found that in my garage. When I was cleaning up my garage, so we'll see.
Well, 1,300 right now, not bad. Do we start taking a look at 9.6s and 9.4s and books like this? And there's
what's a 9.6 goes for what, 500? Maybe more.
Yeah, it's more than what 9.8s sold for like 6 months ago. But
Crazy.
well, and I will say this. I mean, the prices of 9.8s on a lot of these keys now are out of reach for a lot of people. The same thing happened in the card market when 10s became too expensive. Like nobody wanted 9s forever, and now 9s are okay. Like, hey, I'll take a 9 because they can't afford a 10. People can't afford this stuff with this. Most people can't afford it at this price. So yeah, 9.6s now for moderns and copper are okay. They're going to sell. They're going to probably be more liquid than the 9.8s, to be honest.
I think I dropped off some books to our Bird City fam not too long ago. They were selling some books for me, and I think this is one of the books. I think it was like a 9.6 signature series that I sold, right before everything got hot. And I want to say I sold for maybe like just under 300. Yeah.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I sold another 9.6. I sold a 9.6 of this, and a 9.6 of 362, and a Ross 363 for 400.
Not bad. Oh well. Again, great book. The second print was on the list last week, and this will not be the last time you see this book on this list. I guarantee you that. On to number 4. And the Gargoyles are back on the list. This book is going absolutely crazy right now. Gargoyles number 1 from the Marvel run. A different book than that was in the Ben's Bodacious box.
Yeah. Big Biz Bodacious box.
It went right to the man at the bottom of the screen.
Yes, it did.
What was that, 1 through 4?
Yeah, it was 1 through 4 on the slave labor graphic one.
So, school me. The slave label came out after the Marvel.
Yes.
So what, Marvel just lost the license? Or slave label just said, fuck Marvel, I'm going to make my own shit?
I'm not sure how the license got over to slave labor. Because Disney still owns Gargoyles, right?
Right.
So I'm not sure how it ended up at slave labor, any of those slave labor books are always low print, super low print. But yeah, this one's gone. I can't believe how much this book is worth, to be honest.
What?
Yeah, $100 raw. 135.
Yeah, 125 plus raw.
810 for a 9.8. 760 for a 9.8. Yeah.
I gotta give a big shout out to my man Phil Lee. He put me in the right direction for a newsstand, which came in the mail today.
Is it nice?
Bad.
So it's not a 9.8, but it's a nice copy. It's a voice fucking stupid cover that you can't press.
Yes, it's embossed.
Embossed? I said voice.
Yes, it's a yes, it's an embossed cover, straight from the 90s. Yeah, which is cool. I mean, I actually like embossed covers because I liked stuff like that back in the 90s. So they always kind of does hold that special place with me. But yeah,
there's not only this series, obviously, from Marvel. We talked about the Slave Labor graphic series. Also, keep your eyes out for the Slave Labor graphic trade paperback, which also sells for a nice chunk of change, 100 to 150 for just the trade paperback for the Slave Labor graphic. So make sure you keep your eyes out for that. I think that there's another trade called Gargoyles Bad Guys. So,
okay, is this true? Rescue Rangers movie?
I don't know, but
is that real?
Oh God! I gotta fucking find Rescue Rangers.
I love Rescue Rangers, man.
I remember the video game. I played that video game.
Chip and Dale, right?
Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers, man. Yeah. Oh my gosh! See, this is like I mean, like,
was it Chippendale? Chippendale, a male strip club?
what?
Yeah.
It was a male strip club in the 80s. Chippendales.
Yeah. Well, you just called it Strippendale, so
that's what my mom was at.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea that there was a Rescue Rangers movie. Is that like a cartoon, or is that live action?
I hope they didn't do it like Woody Woodpecker because he fucked that up.
JJ Maxwell dropping knowledge. Who Gargoyles Bad Guys was a 4-issue miniseries. Look at that. So be on the lookout for that too.
Yeah, the last issue of this Gargoyles run is pretty hard to find as well. I think it's number 11 or 12. So yeah, if you find that one, that's a good one to get to. It's probably going to end up being kind of like, like Static number 1. Great. Yeah. Static at the end of the run. Even better. So that's a possibility with this too.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, on to the top 3. Number 3, Jenny Zero. This is a recalled book. This is Jenny Zero number 1, the recalled edition. So some type of mix-up for pages or typical printing issues on the inside, but selling for $40 plus on a new book.
Yeah, apparently, and I have not seen a physical copy of it, but from what I've read, like pages were backwards, not in the right order. There was a page that's has nothing to do with the book, just all kinds of just something totally bizarre, which you somehow think that might be on purpose, right? I mean, like, does that always cross your mind? That
sometimes, but I don't think the majority of the time, because it costs them a lot of money, right?
It does, but I mean, if you're trying to get exposure, especially from now, if it was, I don't know. I mean, Dark Horse isn't like the biggest publisher at all, but I don't know. It just seems to get extra eyes on it that it may not, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Patrick said it's going to drop fast like panties on prom night. I tried to find this copy. Midtown pulled them before.
Oh, so Midtown did pull them.
Yeah.
So it is. It has dropped a little in price. That is for sure. Here you guys go. As you guys can see, it was selling for $39. Here's one sale for $39. But you got $20 is about the norm. $31, $43. So we are seeing, anywhere from probably about.
Hey, there was one for a penny.
Yeah, 50 a penny. $15 to $45. So, people are saying, it is definitely dropping fast, but people are buying.
How many are listed? That's really
let's take a look.
So 30 are listed.
Yeah.
Which is still not many.
And nobody's buying.
No.
And that's when the undercutter wave sets in. This book could be a $15 book. Oh, there it is.
Yep. Yes, there you go. So for those of you that were selling it for that 40 plus, you did well. Is that the case? Do you automatically just throw those up there now? You just take your chance? Because the majority of the time they don't hold value on these recalled or air books.
I don't know. I mean, think of some of the other recalled that we've had. Some of them, if they really are hard to, if they really are pretty rare, they basically just kind of just go into ghost mode. I mean, when's the last time you saw that Green Lantern Family Matters or Family whatever with the banner at the top? When's the last time you saw that book?
Yeah.
Remember that Lex Luthor cover?
Yeah, the 51, Justice League 51. Yeah, I remember the Wolverine slur book. I remember the Elektra.
Dinosaur fuckery foot.
Spider, Universe X Spidey. Yeah, there's a lot of those books out there. They're fun. The Matrix promo book, right?
What was the one that came out just here? Like, it was on the Hot 10, like, I don't know, 6-8 months ago. It had a first appearance in it. It was like
that Wolverine Exorcist. No, that wasn't it.
Like, it had like the wrong cover or something. It was something bizarre.
Oh, there was a Venom book. Yeah,
that Venom, that character they did.
Codex.
Yeah, Codex.
Yeah.
Cotex.
Yeah, Kotex. Yeah, exactly. What have we heard from that? What have we heard from that? Well, Jenny Zero, hopefully you guys made some money on it because it was selling like hotcakes for a bit there.
Yeah.
But this book, number 2 on the list this week, Strange Tales 159. For those of you guys that haven't seen the show yet, Falcon and Winter Soldier, this book is getting hot because of the character in that was recently announced. And you know how we feel about spoilers around here. If you haven't seen it, oh well. So the character is Valeria. What's her name?
I just called her Val.
Val, yeah.
That's what
Val.
she said.
She's female Lady Hydra. They're setting her up to maybe be. We don't know if it's a female Lady Hydra. She's going to run the Thunderbolts, whatever. But she's a female Lady Hydra figure that everybody is going crazy for. But this is also a really early Steranko Cap book that had also Romita touch-ups on it. Very interesting story behind this book on that, but cool stuff.
Elaine was old as shit.
Oh my gosh! But when you saw the shoes walking down the hall, like you're like, okay, this is a character I'm not expecting. Like it just felt like that. But when it was her,
Louis Dreyfus,
I was like, holy cow, that was not expecting. Was there anything like out there about this character before?
There were rumors saying that it was supposed to be a big actress playing a female part.
But never named her or.
Remember, we were contemplating: could it be somebody from the Hulk? Could it be Elena Belova?
I thought it was going to be Jennifer Walters.
Yeah.
But I'm still thinking about that Isaiah Bradley speech. I mean, if that doesn't make his book go up next week, it's just.
Yeah, Up the Down 7 said the show is so boring, but I'll disagree. I think it's very good. I think this last episode, the way it opened with the action scene was really good. And when they finally showed the title card, it really was. This was a really good episode.
Was it one more episode left or 2 more?
Just one.
What is it, six episode season?
Yeah.
6.
What kind of shit is that?
Yeah, I know. And then what we got? Was the next one Loki? And that's not until
Bad Batch,
June.
Well, that's Star Wars. So we have. Let's see here. Yeah, Loki. I think that's it. Chat, let us know if we're missing something. But
Randy. RJ, I disagree. All the black characters who aren't saying my paper thin. You're not understanding what Bradley's even talking about, then, bro. Paper thin. He had 2 scenes, and there was some of the most amazing scenes in that show.
Yeah, we were talking about it before backstage about how strong that scene was between him and Sam. How'd you put it, Ben?
Well, I thought it was like, I know that I'm not political at all. I hate politics. I hate the arguments that people get in with politics. Which is really funny because I went to school and I initially went for political science. So, but I got really jaded by politics, and I just don't like the way it makes people think towards other people. I think it's politics, no matter which side you're on, you end up hating too many people, and I don't like that. So I try and stay away from it. So I can see why some people that might call the Falcon Winter Soldier somewhat political. And when I listened to the speech, it sounded like it was going to be a political speech, but then the way Sam backed it up after that, he basically said, I can acknowledge how you feel and what happened to you, but I have to keep moving on. I'm not going to take that as being defeated. I'm not going to take that as the norm. And I think it threw a different spin that I think sometimes we just need to listen. We need to expand on what we see and go beyond that, and maybe we'll actually find a solution at the other side. So
I like the fact that he's just saying, fuck all this. I don't want to be known. Don't even make it right. They did what they did to me. Fuck it. I'm just gonna live. Fuck it. And it made him think. It put so much pressure. Like, it made me see so much pressure Steve Rogers had to be Captain America because this shit is Falcon don't want nothing to do with this shit. You know what I mean? He's like, I'm not ready. When they were going back and forth, practicing with the shield, him and Bucky, that was phenomenal. I mean, they was like, you do it. You know what I mean? So doesn't nobody really want to take on that pressure? When Falcon really, when he gets that briefcase, we know what's in the briefcase. I can't wait till next week. I was on record saying that I don't want to see Black Captain America. But after this episode, it's like, I'm ready to embrace it.
Yeah. We're getting a lot of live viewers commenting right now, and we want to say we appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining us live and taking part in the show. You guys make the show a lot of fun and interesting. So I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Again, make sure you guys go check out Tales from the Flipside youtube.com/Tales from the Flipside. As you guys can see, we have a lot of amazing shows on this channel. We have some shows that you definitely don't want to miss. So make sure you guys hit that bell. Check out Comic Book Women, Modern Comic Mayhem on Comic Book Women on Tuesdays, Modern Comic Mayhem on Saturday nights. We have the Star Wars show, and of course the Modern Playbook doing amazing things with that round table and the Modern Spec 10. And of course, every Monday night, you guys can check out the flagship show, Tales from the Flipside. Also, you guys don't want to miss the Mighty Mel V, It's Drunken Chat Son later on, right immediately following this. Going to be a fun show tonight. But you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and make sure to hit that like button. Let's get on to the number one book. And whether you guys like it or not, this book has been the talk of the day. Joker number 2, the Trevor Harrison 1 in 50 variant, which is this Bane's daughter that everybody's going crazy about?
Bane's daughter.
I got two words for you. Robin King.
Yeah. I like the name that they named her Vengeance, though, because that's where Bane first came out in that Vengeance series, and I thought that was kind of cool, but I agree with you.
Who's Bane's daughter's mother?
That's what I say. Who's giving Bane the pussy?
I will say, regardless of whether or not this character is anything or not, DC does seem to be putting out an awful lot of new, like, Batman characters. Like, I mean, a lot. But the way they distributed this was awesome. Like, they didn't tell anybody, so nobody upped their orders to get it. They didn't even put it on the invoice. They labeled it as something totally different. Nobody even knew that this was. So the fact that it's, I would suspect. I mean, there seems how many have sold? What is that? How many?
This is a ton of them, man. Look at this. So
I know, but
at first I heard it was one per store, but it's not. It's definitely not one per store.
So 60 have sold. How many are listed?
Let's take a look here.
I'm just curious.
This is if you ordered
22.
Right,
that's not many. I mean, for a DC book, that's not many.
So is it one per store? Or is it if you order? Sorry, if you order 50, you could order. Yeah. It goes. It's a 1.
No, you did. No, it is a 1 in 50. They gave one copy for every 50. So Midtown ordered 200 copies of. I don't know if it was from Joker 1 or Joker 2, whatever one it was. Then if they ordered 200 copies, then they got 4 of them. So it was a 1.
So it's not one per store.
No, it's a 1 in 50, but
okay.
nobody knew that this was going to be there, so they didn't. Gotcha. Nobody had a chance to up their orders to be able to get the book. So it was basically just, hey, if you're buying a bunch of them, we're going to give you something, which turns out is kind of cool. Actually, I like that idea. There was no. I get that we have a lot of these pre-FOSC shows. I know a lot of people, especially in the chat. I know you do it, Mel. I mean, you go on this. You guys scour previews, and you're like, "This is going to be hot. This is going to be hot. We're going to order a whole bunch of this stuff." Mm-hmm. I like it when nobody knows, when it's a complete surprise.
Yeah.
And that's how. I mean, you look at like the major books of the last 20 years. Most of those have been because nobody really knew ahead of time.
Yeah. Look, prime example, Spider-Woman 9, the Rose Mesh.
Right. Yeah, those are the books that I like. I don't like everybody knowing 4 months ahead of time and just ordering all they want. Those aren't books that I track. This is a cool idea. I wish they would do this. I agree with Hive. I wish they would do this more often.
Shout out to Hive Comics, by the way. Great successful launch of that Department of Truth last week. Yeah. But will this stick? Will this character stick? I hope so, but you got Punchline, you got Flatline, probably gonna have Coke Line next week. What are they doing with the characters? I mean, you just throw them out there like, yo, they throw them out there like cards. Turn your fucking cards on. What are you doing? Well,
they are just trying to find one that sticks, for sure. I don't know what kind of character this is. If she is I think some of these characters like Punchline or Miracle Molly, they're kind of like, they're kind of campy. If this is like a brutal character that's, excessively violent or something like that.
Would you mean like Robin King?
Well, see, but Robin King, but when you think about Robin King, you still are like, it's kind of it just seems like a cheesy knockoff of, I mean, it like when I look at him, he's got like his big fur, and it just looks weird. I mean, right? I mean, it looks weird. But I mean, if she is like, I don't know, I think violent female characters are interesting. Like,
yeah, they're scary.
Like Lady Killer. I mean, those kind of characters are interesting because that's not what you think.
Well, you know, Lady Killer from Dark Horse.
Yeah.
What the beautiful part about that was she's a regular mom, like
right.
She's mopping.
Right.
This broad here is throwing on her daddy's mask. Like, bitch, what's wrong with you?
Wow. Listen, the cover is definitely selling. I like how everybody is excited about how it was rolled out. And I don't know if you want to buy high or wait for it to dip. I don't know what's going to happen with this book. And it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen with the character. But it's a damn cool cover. I will admit that. So, all right, everybody. Is. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us tonight. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let us know how we're doing. And again, tell us if there's anybody out there in the comic YouTube community that you would like to see join us on the Hot 10 the following week. Again, remember, Spine Ticks will be here next week. So let us know if there's anybody else you want. Make sure to come check us out over on Drunken Chat. And check out youtube.com/thebogcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we are out.
Favorite curse word?
Fuck. Motherfucker.
Oh, I guess that's the big F word.
Yeah. You could say it. Probably fuck. It's universal.
Shit, fuck. Balls. Cunt. Is like a so it's just
I love that word so much because you know why it offends people.
Fuck.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Did you say fuck? Yeah,
I'm scared.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
it's gonna be judged.
Comes out a
You
lot.
can say it. Fuck.